Yeah, I mean, disappointed in our performance in the second half, disappointed probably in myself more than anything. I just think that's that execution was on me as much as anyone and more than anyone. I really have so much respect for Portland and their players and their poise and their system. They took a lot of chances in the first half and we made them pay for that. They just changed up and kind of kept us in front and pressured us still. Their pressure still bothered us. We came across the half court much slower, and we just didn't have the discipline to get ourselves into good spacing on the floor and kind of the things that we wanted to run and actions that we wanted to have. It doesn't help to not make very many shots, but it's a credit to them and how they expose some of the things that we're not great at. And they're a tough team and they're a poised team and they're an experienced team and playing a little bit of youth. And I'm excited about the future of our team and who we are and what we can become. Disappointed for Tara and this performance and really wish them all the best and luck. And again, this is a tough second half for me, individually.
All right, questions for the student athletes. Right.
Just for either one of you, it seemed that a lot of the pressure they were doing kind of looked the same, but you guys weren't able to get some of the back cuts or the open looks. Was there something in their high ball pressure that changed in the second half?
Yeah, I think it was just more intensity. They probably went into the locker room at half and like, we don't want to go home. I mean, I think most of the team are seniors, so they had that mentality going into the second half and it hurt us, but I think in other ways we got some easy buckets. But yeah, they definitely brought up the intensity.
Coach, maybe be able to answer this a little more aptly, but for you, how much are you still wanting to hopefully play in a postseason tournament and just have a chance to continue your career for another few games?
I mean, I would love to. It's just another opportunity to play and to play with WSU on my chest. And then another experience for the freshmen growing up. And I mean, I wish I had a couple more years to play with them because they're only going to get better. And I know they're going to get back to this spot next year and go to the finals. But yeah, I'm just super excited for what's next in the next couple of weeks and hopefully go as far as we can.
Dayana, Coach E's talked about you a lot this season, just kind of your growth and maturation, but just from your own kind of reflection, where do you feel like you've grown the most as a basketball player this season?
Can you repeat, please?
Where do you feel like you've grown the most as a player this year?
Oh, I think I've grown the most mentally. It's more, I just gained more confidence through the years and just have some reps on the spot I play and make me more confident. So that's why.
Any other questions? Oh, in the back. Sorry.
Here, you talked about the senior perspective for Portland, but a lot of times, you have peers that are going through that season with you. What's it like to kind of walk that journey alone this year as the lone senior?
It's been hard, emotional, but it was a challenge and I could have backed away, but I feel like I stood up to the challenge and did a pretty good job. But this year was definitely the hardest out of the 4 years, but I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else beside my side and with Coach E. So it's been a hard year, but it's been a really fun and just a good experience for me to growing my leadership skills because I didn't have that before. So it's been a whirlwind, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay. Thank you both. Thank you. I'll have a few questions for Coach. Okay, go ahead.
Coach, just kind of what I asked the players too, just from you, kind of what you saw, it just seemed that there wasn't as much flow offensively. Some of the open looks you weren't getting, and then when you did good open looks, it was finding some kind of iron instead of twine. It just kind of, what did you see that maybe didn't go right for the offense in the second half versus what did go right in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like they trapped as much and created the opportunities for us to pass through it or over it and get some easy buckets that we got in the first half. I think it just kind of turned into we're just going to make whoever gets it bring it up, and sometimes that was in the wrong people's hands. And it took a little bit of time to get there and a little bit of indecision. And now all of a sudden it's in, Dee's hand or Shasha's hand or something like that. And now we're trying to figure out what we're going to run. So, they super aggressive on the ball, made us really work to bring it up, but not the double team and trapping, which gave us opportunities to try to run past them. I think that was the biggest thing, really their pressure bothered us in the full court. And then it just led to us not getting into really good rhythm in the half court. And again, that to me is, me not being good enough to get us in the right things.
Tara kind of alluded to it, some of the experience. I mean, they start 4 fifth-year seniors, 1 fourth-year senior. They're bringing veterans off the bench. You guys are obviously still very young. Did you feel like that played a role kind of in that third quarter where some of their experience and composure maybe, stood out a little bit, and you felt like maybe some of the youth of the team was kind of, a little bit unsure of what to do?
Yeah, I mean, again, they've got really good players that really conduct their head and get to the rim and create contact. And again, 24 offensive rebounding. We're a little bit more finessey in what we do and not enough rebounding, and again, they've got big, strong bodies that are experienced and know how to play with so much poise at the end of their dribble. They don't get into trouble. They're not, and they can draw fouls. They're just really experienced, and you got to give them credit for that. I think that's the beauty of fifth year or seniors in general. They don't want to lose. I thought Hull's 3 at the end of the first half was another example of just coming in, just getting it started there. Again, their start, offensive rebounding, our start, not being able to finish some easy baskets. And it just kind of went from there. So absolutely, I think you're just watched a team that has seniors that does not want to lose and wants to get into the NCAA tournament.
And then kind of asked again, Tara, about this too, but if an opportunity presents itself to keep playing, is that something you guys are going to look into pursuing?
So important that Tara wants to do that. I think that's the biggest thing, a senior that wants to keep playing. Absolutely. The young players, it's our opportunity to really get good minutes for our young players. And everyone on our team's young. I mean, we got 1 senior, we got, a couple of juniors. So it would be a great thing to be able to host or be in a tournament or go somewhere for a tournament. It doesn't matter. Again, getting some extra games for our young team and getting extra practices would be, I think, just beneficial for us and something they all crave.
You talked before the season about this could be the best team you've ever had. I think what you were talking about was long-term more than short-term. Can you evaluate how that went?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it's kind of like last year. I thought that team was going to be unbelievable. And, just injuries took us out at different times of the year. Injuries kind of took us out a little bit this year too. Couldn't get Dee on a good rhythm. Don't have her in practice for a lot of the year. Candy's been up and back. Alex out for 4 weeks. Everything would have had to have gone perfect for us to really see how good this team can be. But, had to play a lot of players and getting these good, young, athletic freshmen and younger players in our program, just the practice and the individual workouts and obviously getting these games in. It's going to be huge for us as we grow our program and grow these kids and, got good players redshirting. And I mean, there's some really good things going on in our program and the youth of our program and how good I think we can eventually be. But I definitely thought and wanted us to be a little bit better this year too in our win-loss.
All right, question in the back.
Kamie, Tara just mentioned how hard it was for her to step into that more vocal leadership role. How would you evaluate how she did in that role, and how much do you think learning from her can help AT and LA heading into next year?
Well, I think everybody in the country is coaches and every program is trying to build a culture that just, is like just runs perfectly like a watch. And all of us are going, you crash all the time and it's not as good as you think. And you got a little inconsistency here. And these are all the things that happen in any and every program out there, especially with 7 new players that some of them can't hardly speak English. So for Tara to be the only one that, your seniors they're my voice when I'm not around. They represent me. Their energy should be the best on the team. Their consistency and work ethic should be the best on the team. And Tara made a commitment to be with us all summer, and she hadn't done that before. Big growth for her, and she knew she had to do that for a young team. I can't imagine being the only senior with this many not young players and, internationals and, the having to get people in the right spot as much as, you need to bring people along. And that's our challenge now. But I think she's been an amazing leader. I cannot believe her voice and how she stood up and would not compromise and make sure that, what we're trying to accomplish as a program and as a culture, she continued to raise the standard there. So proud of her, so impressed with her. And I think long term, it's going to help her so much in her professional basketball career.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs.